Who are the big five? And why are they the big five? That's the question we're going to answer today. Welcome, everybody. I'm Pops, Steve, but everybody calls me Pops. For those that are new with us, welcome to the channel. We're glad to have you. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will leave the links to the videos down in the description. So for all the bands we do today, okay? This is going to be a long one, so stick with us. Well, we're not going to take all day, but it's going to be a longer one because we got to discuss this. What happened to metal? Why are these five bands the big five now? Well, let's start with the big four. Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth. And what happened to them? Well, everything was going strong. Everything was going fine. Hard rock and metal were just blasting through the U.S., right? Everything was going great. The Sunset Strip was rocking and rolling. The Bay Area thrash scene was rolling right along with great speed, I might add. No pun intended. And the punk scene, underground scene over in New York was hammering away, right? Now, what happened to knock everything down? Well, a lot of people argue it was just gatekeeping. I think that's a piece of it, yeah. A lot of people argue it was the Seattle scene coming in, the grunge scene. Okay, I'd put a piece of that in there too. But I'd say the biggest piece was one that people don't talk about, and that's the record companies. See, as all that was steaming and heating up and what have you, the record companies started seeing albums sold, concert tickets flying out the door, bands getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they did what they usually do. Oh, we got to get in on that, which I understand. I get it, right? Oh, we got to get in on that. And then they told the scouts, go out there and I want, for instance, the Sunset Strip was going strong, right, in hard rock. Go out there and find me 200 Motley Crues. They went, okay, you want 200 like Motley Crue. No, you're not hearing me. I want 200 Motley Crues. But there's only one Motley Crue. No. You go find them. And they came back with 200 bands that sounded exactly like Motley Crue because they were playing Motley Crue covers. And then they put them in the studio and they gave them a song or two or an album full of songs that sounded exactly like the, Dr. Feelgood album. And it was like, wait a minute, whoa. And then everything got saturated, right? And then when everything got saturated, and the same thing happened with thrash, the same thing happened with punk, the same thing happened with the underground, same thing happened with, metal. Everybody was selling tickets, and all of a sudden you had 9,000 bands that were doing the exact same thing as Metallica and Motley Crue and Bon Jovi and, you know what I mean? Go down the line. And then everybody went, wait a minute, how the hell do I dig through this? And guess what? Hard rock and metal packed up their bags. The great hard rock and metal packed up its bags and went, see you. Oh, where'd it move to? That's what we're here to talk about. And that's why we have a big five now. Because when it landed in Japan and got off the plane, it went, oh, yeah. That's where we're at. And guess what? That's where it is. Now, was gatekeeping a part of it? Sure it was. Before we get into the bands. Sure it was. Gatekeeping was a part of it. So was the Seattle scene. The Seattle scene came in what, 91, 92? And boom. I mean, it was like everything went, whoa, hold up. I don't know what this is. But it's going to kill us. It's going to hurt us. And sure enough, it did. I'm not a big fan of what came out of Seattle personally. I heard a few of the bands. I liked a couple of Alice in Chains songs, and I liked a couple of Nirvana songs. I think the band was called Mudhoney. I liked one of theirs, but I wasn't a massive fan by any means whatsoever. And after that, I didn't buy anything new because I was a metalhead and, hard rocker until we started this channel. I didn't buy anything new from probably 92, 93 until, good God, 2021, 2022. I listened to all my old albums. Still got them. I didn't buy anything new, and I sure didn't turn on the radio or Spotify or any of that. And then somebody introduced me to this first band. Right before I started the channel, as a matter of fact, I think it was about 2 weeks before I started the channel, I got introduced to this band. Baby Metal. And I went, wait a minute. The musicianship on that is crazy good. The vocals are a little light, but they were cute. And then I found out their concept. Kawaii metal. Cute metal. And I heard from a lot of metalheads, that's not metal. I beg to differ, Chief. Listen to the music. Just forget about the voices for a minute. Forget about what they're doing out front, what the three ladies are doing out front. Listen to the music. That's metal. I got news for you. And then you look at the ladies out front, and their stage presence is second to none. I mean, second to none. Their stage presence is off the freaking charts. And Sue can sing. So can Momo and Moa. So let's check out Baby Metal to see why that was the start of it. And there was a lot of lore to the band. There was a lot of things going on, and they had some great music. Even the metal god himself said so. One of my favorite bands of all time, Judas Priest. Rob Halford said, hey, listen, you don't think this is metal? Boy, guess again. You know what I mean? He even collabed with them. We've got that video on the channel, by the way. But let's check out Baby Metal so y'all can see what I'm talking about, those that haven't heard them before. This is the Momo Banger.
伝説の黒髪を華麗に乱し狂い咲くこの花は儚く
Okay, before they get too far in, let me say this. That's the other thing. You start listening to the vocals, right? And you start watching the girls dance out front. It's a mixture of J-pop and metal. And you go, wait a minute, why am I smiling? I'm not supposed to be smiling as a metalhead, right? Before you know it, you're drawing in, you're going, wait a minute, that's pretty damn good, you know? Yeah. On top of the fact that Sue, with the microphone in her hand, here can sing. And I mean, she can sing. And that's the other thing. They get the crowd pumped. Their crowds are ridiculous. They're huge, number one, right? They're selling out stadiums. What the Big Four used to do. Okay? So I'm telling you, it's good stuff. Hey. Okay. This part right here. For those that don't know and don't know the lore. She's going to give the microphone to one of the girls because this was a Legend MM concert. It'd be Momo, who is only a couple years with the group now and replacing an irreplaceable member. So, yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, and it's fantastic because both of these young ladies that are bowing right now can sing as well. He's down, yeah. And Moa, that you just saw there smiling, and right there, she's one of the best stage artists I've ever seen. That girl, young lady, excuse me, can fire up a crowd better than anybody in the metal genre. Yeah, it's ridiculous because you're smiling by the end of it, but it's great vocals too, and them blast beats in the back. If you're telling me that ain't metal, I mean, boy, you better rethink what metal is. Okay, so that was Baby Metal. Now, that leads us up to the next band. Now, Baby Metal wasn't afraid to dig into that cute concept either, right? But like I said, they're great singers, and they had a lot of lore around the band. Still have a lot of lore around the band. Bandmate, number 2 of the Big Five. Maid outfits with 5 rockin' ladies? Huh? What kind of concept is this? What are we looking at here? And of course, they're hard rock. Well, of course, the purists, you know. And like I said, I don't want y'all to get me wrong because I was a purist too, right? It's like 5 ladies with maid outfits on guitars and drums. Nah, I'm not. No way in hell I'm listening to that. You know? Guess what? Check this out. Musicianship. Off the scales. Unreal good. Right? Great musicians. Then you go, wait a minute. Okay, was I a little too judgmental? We ain't kicked in yet. Meat song. And a carne. Ridiculous. And now, as a gatekeeper, you're going, wait a minute, maybe I was, okay, let me just, okay, hold on just a minute. I might have been a little too harsh. All right, hold on, let's see what happens. And Psyche's voice is just fantastic for this genre of music. Plain and simple. And now, the guitar work. I mean, yeah. The musicianship. Plain and simple, the musicianship. You know, that's why they're a part of the Big Five now. Just a great, great band. I mean, just a great, great band. Live. Now, all right, here's the deal, right? At this point, as a hard rocker or metalhead, you're still going, yeah, okay, all right. You got a couple of good bands over there. It's all right. It's all good. I might even check out some more from them. But that doesn't give them a Big Five, right? Okay. All right. Well, let's see where it goes, right? Now, mind you, Big Five is just the beginning of what's going on in Japan. Rock and metal-wise, right? Because you got bands like, One OK Rock and Jesus, there's so many. So many good bands. But here's the thing. As we go through these 5 songs, right? You've already heard 2. As we go through these 5 songs, notice something. You're not going to hear any copying. You won't hear the same riff. You won't hear the same sound. You know what I mean? You're not going to hear that. And that's another difference. Everybody is their own separate entity. Some of them mix rap, some of them mix pop, some of them mix, into what they're doing. Some of them mix just crazy stuff. It's wild what some of them can do. But, Love Bites. Now everybody goes, oh, wait a minute. Well, you got 5 princesses on stage? You got ladies in dresses saying that they play heavy metal. Really? I don't think so. Okay. Here you go. just has an absolutely epic feel right from the start, right? And you got prodigies on this. I say prodigies. Miyako right here on the guitar that you saw first. Also plays piano. She writes. She composes. You know what I mean? Our drummer back here, the little engine that could, Haruna. Just incredible with blast beats and double kick and all that. Amazing. Midori over on the other side on the guitar, just, oh my God. When Midori and Miyako start together, and you'll see that here in a little bit, it's unreal. It's like well, for some of y'all that are metalheads, you'd remember, the double axe attack of, Murray and Smith in Iron Maiden, or, Downing and Tipton, Judas Priest, things like that. You'll see. And then Fami on the bass, just holding it down, and I mean holding the whole stage down. And then, of course, Asami on the vocal, which I really love her vocal because she didn't change her vocal style for metal, right? Power metal is what I would call it, but those of you who know. But she didn't change her vocal style, right? She didn't try to meet the music. She let the music and her voice blend. That band is crazy good. And if you watch, they always want the crowd involved. The crowd is as much a part of the show as they are to them, right? That's not the only time you'll see that. You see that a lot in Asian music, Japan, Korea, what have you. Because there's not a lot of ego. And I think that's another thing that killed a lot of what we had over here is ego. From the artists, the record companies, the places they played, you know, all about us. Don't worry about the crowd. Just let them buy your stuff, you know. No. See, that's the other thing about Asian artists. Japan, Korea, Philippines, etc. They want you to be a part of the show. Because they need you to be a part of the show. And they know that they're nothing without the fans. They know that without the fans, they're not selling out stadiums. Or the O2, or, you know, whatever the case may be. They understand it. Okay, next band, Nemophila. Now, you're also going to notice you're getting 5 very different styles here, right? Which is why you've got a big 5 too. Okay, Nemophila is on the harder side, especially in the vocals. But I like it. And it works every time. This is Revive. Let's go.
Revive.
You hear that chug? You gonna tell me that's not metal? And the other thing about these artists is they're not afraid to collaborate. And they're not afraid to collaborate with artists outside of their genre. That's another big point, too. Right? They're not afraid to bring a rapper in with them. Or a pop artist. Or, you know, some dancers. It would make no difference to them. If they thought the collab would work, they'd do it. And I got news for you. About 9 times out of 10, it does work. Oh. And last but not least, in the Big Five, Hataway. Now, look at the crowd. This is a festival, right? They're not afraid to play anywhere either, okay? It does not matter to them, no matter how big they are, right? That's the thing. It doesn't matter how big they are. It doesn't matter if they regularly sell out, 60,000 seats stadiums or headline shows, festivals like this. They'll jump in and play a 200 seat, small club. Doesn't make a difference to them. And that's the other thing. There's no ego. This band I really like. This is the newest of the five, the Big Five out of Japan. Now, what makes them so unique is it's almost like they said, okay, punk rock, metal, hard rock, extreme, death metal, etc. All right. Let's take a big handful of that and throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Okay, let's do that. Because they got a little bit of everything. And they are fun to watch and listen to because they're fantastic. Again, musicians. But before we get into this, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it very much. I hope y'all have enjoyed it as much as I have. Listen. I don't want you to take this as a diss toward American bands. I'm not. What I'm saying is the only way we're going to get the rock and heavy metal scene back in the U.S. is from changes. They're going to have to really look at what they're doing in Japan, especially Japan. But, I mean, it's going around Asia now. There's great bands in Korea. South Korea, there's great bands in, the Philippines. There's great bands in all over the place over there. The only way we're going to get some of that scene back, and we're never going to get it all back, I got news for you. The only way we're going to get some of it back is with change. They're going to have to take notes on what they're doing over in Japan. And they're going to have to take a lot of them. They're going to have to really watch how they act, how they carry themselves, how they work their stages, how they work the music. And we're going to have to quit trying to recycle the Big Four. That's been done. Stop that. I'd love to have more of a scene here too. But it ain't going to happen until they make some changes. That's all I'm saying. It ain't to diss anybody. It's to say, look, we gotta work. We gotta work harder at getting things going. Now, I'm not saying we don't have any great bands left here. I'm not saying that at all. But there's got to be some big changes, or it's going nowhere. It's going to move. Another plane is going to head to Japan. You know what I mean? But this is Hataway. Check them out. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're going to go after this, but we'll be back with another Popzcast next week and the week after because we got two other things to talk about, and we'll get to those then. Thank y'all for watching. Let's check it out. Let's go. That freaking switch. I mean, you go from that really cute vocal to that really just guttural growl to, from it's just plain old-fashioned heavy metal, great heavy metal, to, speed metal, to thrash, to... Yeah, they're just fun. So much fun and so good. The one last thing I want to say, and this is going to sound like a diss toward our bands over here, but what I've seen in the past couple of years, there's one other thing they got to do. They got to play and sing live, or we ain't never getting it back. Now, I understand voices change. I understand you get a little gravel in there after so many years of singing like that, what have you. It's understandable. Everybody understands that. It is what it is, and it happens. But you got to play and sing live. If you don't, you're never going to get it back. Way too much lip syncing, way too many tracks. And here's the thing. Yes, they use tracks too. You can hear the siren in the back, all that kind of stuff. They use tracks too, but those are live mics and live instruments. They're playing live, they're singing live. You know? I'm just saying. So, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it very much. I hope y'all got some good information. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Hey, we'll be back next week. Well, we'll be here tomorrow, of course, but we'll be back next week with another special edition. Got some great stuff coming. I'll see y'all. This is Old Pops. We are out.